So I had my son and I joined the U.S. Army. I did about 5 years in the Army. Then I got out of the military, and 3 months out of being out of the military, I went to do civilian government contracting for 3.5 years. And so in 2011 is where I first came to Kenya through contracting. I think Kenyans are the most amazing Africans on the continent. I've been to Morocco, I've been to Senegal, Togo, Mali, Ethiopia, Tanzania, South Africa. Kenya by far.
Traverze Culture comes in. Headed by Kea Wakesho Simmons, Traverze Culture links African Americans to Kenya through Afrocentric regenerative travel, through relocation, business investment, and so much more. Born in America, she understands that the true home of African Americans is Africa, and she is willing to be the link that makes sure that that is possible. I had the privilege to speak with her in person, and we had a great time. First, we started with a brief introduction about herself.
So yes, my name is Kea Wakesho Simmons. I have adopted my Kenyan name that was given to me about 13 years ago. The Wakesho is Taita, but then Akini, of course, is Lua. And when I was given that name 13 years ago, the Akini name, I did not know that I was actually Lua until we did our DNA in 2019, my family. We did our DNA and we came back 27.7% Kenyan and of the Lua tribe. Yeah, which is crazy because I had already been coming to the country for at least 9 years at that point. And really, I didn't care where I was from or whatever. I just knew I loved Kenya. And so I'm the owner and founder of Traverze Culture. I was the owner and founder of Worldviews, my previous company, which we have rebranded to Traverze Culture. And we are a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian work, relocation services, business development, agriculture, and now real estate development. So I'm super excited to have started this journey. I am originally from Charleston, South Carolina, the Gullah Geechee culture. Yes, grew up on James Island. Shout out to Chucktown. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, Grady baby. Y'all know what that is. And my second home is Virginia, Newport News, Virginia. But I joined the military once I had my son. I am a mother. Shout out to my son who's graduating high school this month. Yes. So I had my son and I joined the U.S. Army. I did about 5 years in the Army. Then I got out of the military, and 3 months out of being out of the military, I went to do civilian government contracting for 3.5 years in Afghanistan, a few years in Iraq, Bulgaria, Estonia, places around the world. So I did about 7.5 years of civilian government contract, which afforded me the opportunity to travel the world because at this point I'm making really good money and disposable income is coming in. And so I'm like, I need to travel, right? And so in 2011 is where I first came to Kenya through contracting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
How many countries have you been in?
45.
45.
45 countries, and I've lived in now 8 of them, which includes Kenya.
Okay, I know we talked about this before we started the show.
Yeah.
Just tell everybody, best country that you've ever lived in.
Kenya.
Why?
By far. I think the people. I think Kenyans are the most amazing Africans on the continent. No shade to any other country, I'm sure. And I've been to 7 other African countries within that 45 countries. So it's not like I just come to Kenya. I've been to Morocco, I've been to Senegal, Togo, Mali, Ethiopia, Tanzania, South Afrika, and Kenya. And so I've had some experience with other African countries, and Kenya by far.
Afrocentric regenerative travel is a pivotal service that Traverze Culture does, where they not only give African Americans an enjoyable time in Kenya, but where they get to see different Kenyan cultures and learn from them, making it a fun and a teachable moment at the same time.
Man, let me tell you, I've been doing this for 6 years here in Kenya. And we also do Panama and Belize as well. So shout out to Central America. Yes, this same model in other countries, and we will be in 63 countries with this model. But Kenya is the headquarters for it all. So over the course of 6 years, we've had, people from all over the world travel with us. So the reason why Afrocentric regenerative travel is important. Now, regenerative travel is a thing. The regenerative travel part. It was started by an Asian woman. I forgot her name. I think her name is Anne. And it's really centered around eco-friendly hospitality, clean air, things like that. In the hospitality hotel industry, but it really doesn't focus on what we focus on in terms of Afrocentric regenerative travel. Let me give you an example of what that means. When I was getting ready to go to Belize for leisure travel, one of the things I do in all of my travel is look for Afro tourism, where I can experience the indigenous people of that country. No matter where I go in the world, I know Black people exist. I know some person of color exists in that particular country, and I want to know their story and their experience and the cultural immersion and things of that nature. So I was going to Belize, and I could not find a tour company that provide Afro experiences. It's only about the nature and the beach, something like Kenya. And I found that perplexing because 30% of the population is of African descent in Belize. And I'm like, so why aren't these people showcased, right? Why don't we see them through the tourism sector? And so what I created, like I said, was the Afrocentric regenerative travel. And what that is essentially showcasing the contributions of marginalized cultures in 63 countries in which we want to be in through policy reform and tourism. So what I did was put together an itinerary based around the Garifuna people. Shout out to the Garifuna people in Belize, Honduras, and Costa Rica. A lot of people don't know about the Garifuna people, and then the Afro-Belizean people. And I put together an entire itinerary and presented it to the government of Belize and asked them if they want to do a partnership with me to implement Afrocentric regenerative travel. And they were super excited about it. And what was even more surprising, I did the same thing in Panama. I tried to put together something and or ask someone to put something, and it didn't exist. Afro tourism didn't exist in Panama. And again, they're like 30% of the population, Afro-Panamanians, right? So why aren't their story told? So I put together an Afrocentric itinerary, and we went to the Rastafari compound. A lot of people don't know Jamaicans did a lot of the work there in Panama for freedom. What did the Panama Canal play, right? And a lot of people don't know that Marcus Garvey went through the canal to get to Liberia, never made it to the continent, right? And so their stories aren't told. So I presented an Afrocentric regenerative itinerary, and I brought about 20 women to Panama and presented it to the government, and they were actually really excited. They was like, hold on, we ain't never heard nothing like this before. Like, you doing what? We're excited. So the government of Panama allowed me to do like a welcome ceremony in their airport, along with my business partners, Afro Panamanian travel company. Shout out to Mama Elsie. And those are two examples of how we want to implement that Afrocentric piece. Why is it important? Because our stories are never told. And even the way tourism work here on the continent is still commercialized. Like take, for instance, Kenya. While we love the Maasai, they're like the last samurai of East Africa. However, it's very commercial. There's 44 or 43 indigenous other tribes of this country. Why aren't they being showcased through tourism. And so one of the things that we've done is we partner with the Nubian tribe. And I know that's a bit controversial. People have thoughts about them. But we connected with the Nubian people of Kibra or Kibera. And we found it important to kind of diversify the different tribes that we will work with to offer our signature naming ceremony for our guests. But over the past 4 years, we have been exclusively doing our naming ceremony with the Nubian tribe. What we were saying, coming here, I'm a historian too. Mm-hmm. And so I love history. So when I started reading the history of Kenya, like in order for you to be able to give somebody a great product, you got to know the people. You got to know the culture. There's no way you can go into another country
without knowing like who. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense, right? And so over the 13 years, I mean, you should know something. And I should know Swahili too. But
I was telling you.
Yeah, I should.
But it's really easy.
I know.
So it's like I know all these Indians who are here. They know Swahili and they've been here for like 10 years.
It is. It literally, how it's spelled is how you say it. I just been lazy because y'all speak English. So it's like, you know what I mean? It just, you're like, well, they speak English. Everybody speaks English. But I know some, Kidogo words. But yeah, so after like just learning the history of the country and just really being intrigued by the people of Kenya, you learn things like that. Oh, okay, so there's 44 tribes. Okay, what do these tribes consist of? Who are these people? How can I implement this in our experience over time so we can diversify our experiences and people can see the whole of Kenya? So relocation has been something that I always wanted to do, because when you think about, and I use Black Americans or African Americans interchangeable only for conversation purposes. But when you look at us, we typically don't see ourselves internationally. However, we are the trendsetters of the world. Some of the most creative people you will ever meet in your life. I think what made us so unique is because we from all over Africa, and then we cultivated our own culture in America, so much so that we've even penetrated Africa. Like we've influenced Africa as well, right? Big time, right? Fashion, the way you talk, some of the slang people use, anything you can think about in terms of trend setting. African Americans have contributed to that. And so while we have done that, we just don't see ourselves internationally. And I didn't realize that until I started traveling the world. I'm in Macedonia, in a club in Macedonia, and they got rap in Macedonian, and you know what I mean? And dudes dressing a certain kind of way, girls are wearing the lace fronts and all of this other stuff. And you're like, okay, why can't we live wherever we want to live in the world? Why can't we have the opportunity to create options? I do not support mass exodus. I do not support repatriation. And there's a reason why I don't support repatriation. And I've said it a million times, and I'll go into that because I know that's controversial for people. But when you tell somebody that they're repatriating somewhere, they would have had to been a citizen of that country before. And so what I don't want to do through my relocation program is tell people you're repatriating to Kenya. You're not Kenyan. You're not from Kenya. So in order to respect the process of integrating you, I don't use repatriation. I understand the underlying meaning of what most people are saying in terms of us returning to our roots. I'm not saying we're not returning to our roots. However, you're not Kenyan. So there are certain processes that need to be taken in order for you to relocate to this country legally. We not relocating people and selling them a dream that you could just move here and just live here illegally and do whatever you want to do. That's not what we're doing. We streamline everything. If you're eligible for certain visas, because Kenya does have a very stringent immigration law that makes it a little hard to relocate. So we like to be honest with our clients. Kenya is not giving out free citizenship. Please listen to me when I say that. Please stop listening to these YouTubers saying that Kenya giving out free citizenship. That's not happening. And you have to qualify for certain visas, which we do the research and we qualify you for whatever visas you qualify to relocate here. The integration piece is the part that's very important to me. That's why, again, repatriation is a problem, because if you already live here before, all you're doing is returning, you should know the processes and everything like that, right? But if you're integrating, then you're learning things for the first time.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we pride ourselves in our we have a 120-day relocation integration program. All right. It's a door-to-door service where we provide airport pickup and drop off from your house in the States to the airport in the States.
From the house in the States.
And yes.
Really?
We're a full concierge company.
Wow.
See, black folks don't even know what concierge is. White folks were doing this for years, giving this type of high-level service.
Wow.
Right? From door to door to the airport in the States, pick you up here at JKI, take you to your transitional housing, which is not a hotel. Mm-hmm. So what we do is, it depends on if you need to ship your household goods. Say, for instance, if you want to sell your home, but you want to keep your things and move it here, right? We do household goods shipping. Yeah. And then, so with that being said, we need to maybe start 60 to 30 days out before you land here in Nairobi. We do a virtual tour of 3 apartments for you so that you can see, choose where you want to live. What we often do is make sure that we look at certain areas. I'm ex-military, so I'm a logistics queen and strategic about how I do things, and my team. But one thing we like to have people secure with is having them close to a hospital, a police station, shopping malls, centrally located somewhere, because you're moving to a new country and the culture is going to be a shock when you get here, especially for black folks. Again, it's a distinctively different culture from where we're coming from. So while we all may subscribe to Pan-Africanism, if you don't really know what you are, where you're going, you don't understand that, you're not able to contribute in an effective way. What I've seen on the internet, especially these YouTubers who move to Africa with their own sense of what they think it's going to be, and come into the country and telling, the locals what they should do, what they should not do. So we're misinformed too in the States. I think African Americans create up their own narrative of what we think Africa is, and we pulling from millions of years ago. And you're like, you do understand these people have progressed, right? And so you're meeting people where they are now, right? And so I think that plays an important role in terms of integrating into a country. You must understand where that country is right now, where the people are. And specifically for Kenyans are not a big topic in the West yet in terms of the African American community. It's just not on the map in terms of that. It's starting to happen, kidogo, but not not a lot right now. Compared small or pole slowly, but not like a Ghana or Senegal, Sierra Leone, things like that, right? Everybody's talking about these places, so it is imperative to really understand the Kenyan culture, because we just don't have a connection like those other countries in terms of the Black American community. So yeah, and I don't think that they really did a good job with that in Ghana either.
Expound on that.
I think what happened in Ghana, and no shade on Ghana, shout out to Ghana for what they've done, because they're paving the way for the whole continent, and they've done it successfully. However, in terms of the gaps, I think that a lot of people played off of the emotions. It was emotional driven, right? Correct. It wasn't mental. It wasn't strategic or logistical in terms of integrating people and transitioning from integrating through tourism to possible investment and to possible residency. Mm-hmm. There should be a streamlined strategic pathway to all of that in regards to welcoming a mass exodus of foreigners to the country. I think they kumbaya, and a lot of we're gonna get along because we're all African. And you're like, yeah, yes, but No, right? You missed the part that we're culturally different. What about that? You know what I mean? And that's where you start seeing some of the commotion and the colliding of cultural differences. And as I told you before, millions of times, my approach to the Journey Back to Eden initiative is, yes, we will see our similarities. We're going to discuss our similarities. We're going to kumbaya. We're going to sing, shout, laugh, dance, cry. But we're also going to have these uncomfortable conversations about our cultural differences and the myths that we may have or may not have about each other with conflict resolution. It's a reality that we just have to do in order for us to move towards what I like to call conscious trade and commerce. I look at us as your cousins more or less than your sisters and brothers because of the 700-year gap that we have. There's nothing wrong with that, but that gives a more refined reality to what we're working with right now, right? And so that to me is the reality. I think that is a part of the solution to move towards something that'll work for Kenya. Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting because I like the fact that you've said that, because as a Gavian who is a really, really religious follower of Gavi, people mistake Gavi. Gavi wasn't a person who said that all Africans in the diaspora should come to Africa. He was like, the right people should come. Because he also said that some of you are better off in America or in Europe than coming here. Because and my idea is that before you come here, which is why I really like Traverse, because before you come here, you need to be African mentally. You need to be African emotionally. You need to be African culturally. You can't just come here and you know, not like you need to be prepared. And that's what you're doing. You're preparing them. Yes. Because things here are very different. From the economics, from even dealing with especially dealing with the police, dealing with things are very different. Which is what you are doing. Yes. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's important that you prepare people. You know, we're a service-based company. What you often see is you see people move to the continent who have moved personally, right? And now they want to provide certain services, and you're like, you're still doing it off of emotions. You're not doing it from a business perspective that is strategic in its planning and implementation. So we gotta be careful on, you know, the messaging that we're putting out there. So the ones that have relocated so far, because I'm sure you've relocated. What's the feedback? Oh, they love it. Forget about it. Really? Oh, forget about it. I think we got at least 4 families of 5 to 7 per family that we're relocating this year to Kenya. And the families that we relocated before, we started in 2022, our first family in 2022. And they absolutely loved it. It was a young family. They had 2 small babies and a wife and a husband. And when they got here, and shout out to my team, because my team is incredible. But when they got here, by the time they finished our 120-day program, they knew freaking Nairobi like the back of their hand. And so we were just very proud. We usually do an exit interview. Like I said, I'm ex-military, so a lot of what I learned in the military and contracted, I implement in my business. And so we did an exit interview, and we got 5 across the board, except 1, and we got a 4. But we got excellent reviews for our relocation program because we really integrate you into it. Yeah.
What Traverse is doing is amazing. How I hope that the Kenyan government sees the value in our brothers and sisters in the diaspora as they loosen up restrictions of them getting into Kenya.
That's top of the list for us, especially through the initiative. One of the things that we're using through that initiative is the numbers, right? I'm kind of taking it as like a lobbyist perspective in terms of how we approach the government. And we have put that in our proposal. to do a temporary residential visa through the initiative, and a 3-year work permit as well. So we have put that on the table. It's going to be a process, because we're essentially asking the Kenyan government to create a whole new policy for this specific initiative. But we're tying the money to it. Of course, you have to prove your value chain. There has to be a value chain, and that's another thing I think a lot of people get confused with in the diaspora, is that we could just come to Africa and tell these people to give us citizenship because you Black. Don't make no sense. You have to prove the value of that. It's a partnership. It's a partnership, because I don't want you coming to my country. I'll give you citizenship and you a burden. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing this, but when it did, so how it came about is the relocation program. I'm also a type of person who like to have everything in-house, not because I'm greedy or selfish, but because I have a control issue problem, and I like to make sure that we're providing the service correctly instead of outsourcing it. If I know we can do it, we're gonna do it, right? And so that was kind of where this development came about, because I wanted to streamline my relocation process in terms of the housing experience, right? I wanted to build up vendors that we had in-house that we can just go directly. They have a number of apartments ready for us, a number of homes ready for us, a number of new development ready for us, things of that nature. And that's where the development came. Like, why don't y'all just build your own development? Huh? Oh, okay, that's what we doing now. And so we acquired some land in Thika, and we building the first estate ever where African Americans, or Africans of the diaspora, and our Kenyan counterparts will live side by side in this luxury development right here in Kenya.
Oh, side by side.
Side by side.
It's not a secluded place where African Americans just...
No, absolutely not. I would never do that.
Important.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? Why did you see the need of that?
Yeah, again, like what we talked about is integration, not you coming to separate yourself from each other. So absolutely not. I would never support building a community just for the African diaspora without Kenyans being a part of it. I think that that's selfish. I think that that would cause a huge problem for us here. The Kenyan society will retaliate on something like that, and not in a way that is not fair. I don't think that that would be right. I come to your country and create a whole community and you don't have access to it. That's ridiculous. So no, this community is for the diaspora outside of the Kenyan diaspora and Kenyans as well. Yes.
Nice. Okay. I know it'll be jumping the gun, but approximately, when do you want this project to be done? Approximately.
So I know I was already told that I was being a bit more ambitious for my architect and my designer. Shout out to my partner. 3 to 4 years.
So what's the process of how people will be it's tying in with the relocation, yeah?
Correct. It's tied in with the relocation and the initiative. So they'll have access to it through the travel piece, because we have the real estate tour included, where we go out to the land, show you the land, where it's situated, and things of that nature. Right now, we started first phase, an exclusive soft launch of the first phase, which right now we're almost sold out on the first phase of the project. We'll be opening back up on Wednesday. We'll do a soft launch via email. So if you are interested, go to tverse.com or go to g2realtors.com. We will be changing the name of our real estate company. But it'll still be the same if you go to tverse.com and click the estate information and sign up to get email notifications, and a sales rep will reach out to you.
Good.
Humanitarian, yes.
Yeah. Let's get into some humanitarian work. What type of humanitarian work have you been doing, and the feedback and the impact?
Yes. So one of the things that we pride ourselves on is the CSR work that we do, the community service responsibility that we implement in every tour that we do. So whether we in Panama, Belize, Tanzania, Kenya, wherever, we implement that in all of our itineraries. Because I also feel when you're going into other countries, and while you may be on vacation, I think that we also have the responsibility as humans to give back in a humanitarian way. So we just implement that as a part of our structure of our business, no matter where location. But specifically here in Kenya, we heavily support the community of Kibera, or Kibera. That's the slum. I get my hair done there. Shout out to my stylist, Eunice.
That's why I like it, because you're going deep.
Yes.
You don't care whether it's the slums or where, you're going deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our office, which is in Adams Arcade area, is pretty much Kibera. All of my team is from Kibera. All of my interns are from Kibera. Yes, and we support a school. We're the only Black-owned company to support St. Martin's School out of Kibera. We got exclusivity with them. And we've been working with them for the last 4 years. I have had my interns for the last 2 years, my employees for the last 6 years. Out of Kibera, women, all women. We're not, we hire men as well, but they just seem like they can't stay on board.
Maybe you know family.
Yeah, we got 2 good men now.
Yeah.
Between my lawyer and my partner for the development. But in terms of my core team is all women, but they all from Kibera. And so right now we support the community of Kibera, but we may be working with some other organizations coming up here soon. Yes. Agriculture. So we have signed a MOU, a partnership with PLO Lumumba. Yes. For his initiative with Feed Africa. There he has some land that we'll be working with him in order to have the diaspora be a part of the Feed Africa initiative, and he's coming on board to support us with the journey back to Eden. And so we also have access to about 50 acres of farmland that we're looking to add to the development project in the near future. We had to work out a few other things, but that's going to be a part of it in terms of eco-friendly farming. What I didn't know before is that a lot of your food is not organic, more organic than America, but it's not that. Yeah, and I was shocked. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, we coming to Africa, we're gonna eat organic food, and you're like, yeah, no.
It's because of the government allowing China and all these countries to dump their products here, which is really ruining business for local farmers.
Yes, and so what we want to do is give back to the local farmers through the agriculture piece, where we'll be training the farmers for free, and we want to offer farmland to our relocating families here, so that they can produce products to either sell back into the community here, or export it so that it's bringing money to the country. But also that training piece for eco-friendly farming is a very important part in the training, so that they too can also go and farm, return back to holistic farming here in Kenya. Yes, so we do also assist you with opening up your company here in Kenya if you're interested in extending your business here in Nairobi. We incorporate your business, your KRA PIN, your virtual office. If you're even more serious, you want to actually start hiring, get a brick and mortar, the logistics, the everything that you need to have an operating company here, your work permit, all of that. We also do that through our business hub on our website under services.
You guys do, and I like it because you guys are hitting all the layers.
Correct.
To make sure that before an African American comes to Kenya, you are fully settled. You just hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running, right? So it's strategic. It's you hit that travel piece first. You hit the option of investment. You hit the option of relocating. We also get you with that CSR work, so you giving back to the community while you're here. You have the option of the agriculture, and then again, new construction purchasing. So if you don't want to buy a already established home or apartment, you can also get new construction. So it's literally a comprehensive package that you get through your travel. Let's say you don't even want to use these other packages without, you already experienced that through the travel experience. Either you come on the 7-day, which is a 2-city tour, or the 12-day tour, which is a 6-city tour, where you really get to see a lot of places in Kenya. Yes.
Wow. How can people reach Traverze Culture?
Yes, so our website is tverse.com. That's with a Z. You know, Black folks got to be special. And you can find us on Instagram, Traverze Culture, YouTube, TikTok. I think we on Twitter. Traverze Culture is the handle. Facebook. You can also reach us by email and our business line, but just go to the website, tverse.com. And if you're interested in the real estate, also go to tverse.com as well and click the tab. It'll redirect you to our real estate company, and put your information in for the email information, and a sales rep will return your call or your email. Come have a good time. Come see the beautiful city of Nairobi, the beautiful people of Kenya. And yeah, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Please support Traverze Culture by going to their website, tverse.com. If you're an African American and you want to travel to Kenya, go to tverse.com. If you're serious about relocation, go to tverse.com. If you're serious about business development in Kenya, tverse.com. If you want to support the community service responsibility programs, go to tverse.com. Remember, Black people, you don't have to be born in Africa to be an African. Africa needs to be born in you. Black power.